They make the cutest sounds too. They communicate and it's precious.
Gandhi said a nation's moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated.
All of these animals just want to live.
And if that's true,
I've met more nice animals than I have people.
Jennifer Kleinpeter and Raymond Bullard are making some big progress in the big country.
We were founded in 2021 after realizing the need of native wildlife in this area needing assistance. I've loved animals all my life, but I'm actually a registered nurse, so that caring and compassion just comes naturally. But I also love animals. I've had many different pets. I grew up on a small farm, so we had a little bit of everything.
And a little bit of everything is a daily routine at Big Country Wildlife Rescue. Raccoons, snakes, foxes, turtles, just to name a few. And of course, there are the skunks.
Yeah, not many people want to go out and hug a skunk or a fox or a possum. The first set of wildlife that came to me were skunks. And a lot of people fear them, not only because of maybe they're rabies vector species, which means they can carry rabies, but they spray. A lot of people think that they're going to immediately get sprayed. We've got about 15 in here of different ages. And as you can see, they are sticking their tails up some. They're like, who is this person? So they're cautious. But as you can tell, are they spraying you? No. So you have to literally go up to them to get sprayed. Skunks do not want to spray you because they want to save that spray for an emergency setting. They're backed into a corner, you will get sprayed. This here is Cupcake. Now, she doesn't look like your typical striped skunk because Cupcake here is a domesticated skunk. And so a lot of people don't realize that in some states you can have a domesticated skunk as a pet, but unfortunately not in Texas. She is on our educational display. So Miss Cupcake here gets to go to schools and other local businesses to educate our community on our native skunks. And her nails are painted. See, so she's one of our a sweet little girl painted her fingernails when she was at my office the other day last week. So she gets to go places and gets to hang out. Yeah, she's a diva.
As you can see, the boas get massive. So when you buy them in the pet store at a foot long, they're cute and adorable. But at 5 years old, they're 6-7 foot long. There's animal sanctuaries for dogs, cats, birds. So I filled a hole. I've rehabbed rattlesnakes, box turtles. When turtles get hit on the road, we can rebuild a shell.
There's plenty of vet clinics for our domestics and exotics, but, our wildlife, what do you do? Social media is a big part of our marketing. We love creating cute little videos, sharing photos.
Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine. Ha-ha!
Especially what happened to them, whether they're an orphan or whether they were injured. One of the stories this year is we had a couple of baby raccoons that came in that were almost 3 days without mom. And they had fly strike all over them. That's fly eggs because nature is cruel, right? So flies see the vulnerable babies, they lay their eggs on them, and what happens when the eggs hatch? They eat these animals from the inside out. So we get these animals in, we remove all the fly strike, we have to treat them with antiparasitics to clean out their insides because they're already working their way inside the animals. Horrible way to die, right? So we get them in. They were saved except unfortunately one, but the other siblings are saved and they're outside right now. Juveniles probably got another 4 weeks and they'll be released.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum.
It's actually hard not to get attached, especially when you work so hard to save their life. When you put blood, sweat, and tears, no sleep with some of these animals, and yes, you absolutely get an emotional connection with some of these animals, absolutely. Many people don't know what we do, and so when we give them a little sneak peek of these animals, a lot of people connect with these animals, especially what happened to them, whether they're an orphan or whether they were injured. We see the ugly side of humanity. Because 99.9% of these animals that arrive here is due to human interaction, and it could be just due to ignorance. That's why we're here to educate. But then there's also, we see a side where there's no compassion for them. So we do see that. So absolutely it takes an emotional toll on us. And so mental health is extremely important. There's a way to humanely evict animals from your home and your space by keeping the family together. So the reason why most of these animals are in attics or under sheds is because it's dark and quiet. So when you introduce sound and light, they pick up their kids and move on. So our wildlife have many different den sites because there's always that possibility of their home being compromised, and they'll pick up their kids and move them to their other den site. And so they do that. And so that's how, and a lot of people want that humane approach. They're learning that, hey, these animals are important for our environment. And so they humanely evict, and it works 24/7. We've never had it not work. A quick fix for a lot of people is they want to have people come in and trap. Well, what happens when you trap that adult? They go and release out in the country thinking that's where they live, when that actually kills that animal at the end of the day. They're ran out of that property by someone that already lives there, by a raccoon that's already established. Not only does that help with disease spread, but that animal has no idea where food and shelter is. We have a goal in place for our animals to be a successful release. They have to fear humans. If they don't fear us, it puts them at being killed, especially our skunks, our raccoons, our foxes, the rabies vector species, because many times people think a friendly animal that comes up to them is sick with rabies. That's actually not true. There's a lot of myths and fears when it comes to our native wildlife. Luckily, now that we've moved out here to South Abilene, most of our animals come from Taylor County, from the Abilene area, due to the population and things like that. We are able to release on site. We have a natural habitat for our native wildlife. We've got tanks, so they have water access. Their natural prey is out here. We actually get to enjoy sitting on the front porch and get to see these wildlife come up. We see a lot of eastern cottontails, jackrabbits. We've seen porcupines. We hear the coyotes out here. We respect all of our wildlife, and it's the circle of life. There's an ecosystem, there's a food chain in place, and so we want to keep that balance. You're going to see these animals in your backyards, and what we're here for is not to just take all these animals in because we get a phone call. Hey, this is actually what you can do to kind of coexist, or to get them to move on if you're just not comfortable. And that keeps, all of us safe, but it keeps that animal safe too. So almost all of it is education.
Randall Case, Fox West, Texas.